Hello, my name is Larry Belfield. Thank you for joining me on the Belfield Show. Today, we'll be covering the beginnings of real estate, and we'll be continuing our series on how real estate began. Today, on this episode, we are somewhere in the Americas, right when they began. 1605, when the colonies were sent to America by King James. The same King James that mass-produced the Bible to make sure that everyone had access to the Word. Now we know that the church has the power to deal real estate. How did they attain this power? Okay, so right now I want to say, it is great to be a realtor right now, to really learn about your world and learn how to bring people into home ownership. And I thank you for choosing me, coming to my show, and let's get started. Okay, there's so much business at the church has to delegate all the business dealing with money to a special branch, treasury. See, the church begins to make marks, papers that people can trade for food or for clothing in the open market. However, the treasury was little equipped to handle the onset of money and the onset of people. So what do they do with this? With this newfound income, the church was able to give more and more. Now the church always had a system for the poor, but this is the foundation of general assistance and welfare. There was so much money that the church decided to put it in a separate place and actually delegate the duties of doling out the money to someone else, so that common citizens were able to store their monies along with the general assistance money that the people were getting from the church. Now this is the beginning of the banking system as you know it today. Okay, now what better place to keep your money than with the church, right? Now I must take a break here because I'm getting way too heavy. Through trying to find the beginning of the real estate, this has led me to the start of a great many things that we still uphold to this day. We may believe in God, we may go to church, we may participate in community gatherings, but the reason we understand God at all today is because of what our ancestors did. You see, they gave up. They surrendered. They completely surrendered their will, their time, their focus. They devoted their first of everything to the Almighty. When they woke up, they gave their first thought to the God. They gave their first thoughts to God. They gave their first word to God. They gave their first food to God. They gave their first of their hearts, the first of their mind, the first of their language, the first of their crops, the first of their cattle, the first of their cloths, the first of their goods, the first. See, it's plain and clear to see how the Lord was the longest owner of property in the world. It's just surprising to see how much of our common world is ingrained in it. See, America itself is founded on Christianity, which would bring us to the beginning of the Americas, right? Wrong. Our story doesn't start that way. It doesn't turn that way yet. Because if you remember in your history books, at the end of the Spanish Inquisition is basically the beginning of the Americas. When they leave Mexico and declare Mexico its own country, then the U.S. created realtors to handle the dealing of the land. Now the question is, how did Spain find out about the Americas? Christopher Columbus, right? Wrong. See, wait. There's Christopher Columbus Day. The big flags, the parade. But remember that Chris wasn't looking for America. See, he was looking for a faster way to India, trying to circumnavigate around the Middle East, around the Silk Road. In fact, Christopher Columbus found the Americas in 1492. And the colonies did not arrive to the Americas until 1606, almost more than 100 years after They're 100 years apart. Now, we spoke briefly about the road that connected all the world. But Columbus was revered for being one of the most greatest sailors to ever sail the seas. However, shortly after his discovery, he made a colony, then returned home, where he was accused of some sort of wrongdoing to the indigenous. And this is what led to the Inquisition. More on this later. What is important now is the Silk Road. See, the Silk Road is a bridge of over 1,000 tribes. There are roads, pathways that are still in use today. There are cities that are still operating. This road connected all life in the known world. This is the basic foundation for mass transit system. Now, you can get almost anything from almost anywhere. This makes cities and countries very strong. So strong that multiple people try to take control of the road. Whoever polices the road will get the tax for their protection. So the bigger and bigger cities are, cities will arise until some men try to take over the world. My name is Larry Belfield, and I thank you for joining me. Once again, I thank you for coming to my show, and I would like you to like, comment, subscribe, share, and post. Tell everyone you know. I sincerely thank you for coming in. I thank you for joining me, and I hope that you have a blessed day. Thank you so much.